Have you ever felt like parenting is one long race, where your child's progress is constantly measured against some invisible curve? It's exhausting, isn't it? The pressure to make sure they are ahead, excelling and performing at their best can feel overwhelming. And the worst part, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that a child's success reflects on their parent. It starts early. Parents proudly compare when their babies first rolled over, sat up, or took their first steps. As they grow, the competition becomes more intense. Who can read first? Who gets into the best school? Who is labelled gifted and talented? Before long, childhood turns into a race where joy is replaced with pressure and play is overshadowed by performance. But where does this all lead? What happens when a child's worth is tied to their ability to be ahead of the curve? Imagine a girl named Sophie. At 14, she discovered a love for swimming after watching a championship event. Excited, she decided to join her school's swim team. Her enthusiasm was met with a blunt response. She wasn't qualified because she hadn't been training for years. Her father, frustrated, argued with the coach. "Is this a school team or Olympic trials?" he asked. But the coach insisted. "Most of these children have been training since they were 6 or 7. She just won't be able to keep up." Just like that, Sophie's dream was crushed. She refused to try again, even when her father found beginner lessons for her. Her excitement faded, replaced with the belief that if she wasn't already good enough, there was no point in even trying. Now think about that for a moment. How often do children lose the chance to explore something new because they weren't good enough from the start? How many moments of joy are stolen because of the pressure to perform? Academics are no different. James, a bright 17-year-old, spent years pushing himself to be the best. The stress manifested physically with severe stomach pains that later turned into ulcers. His identity was so wrapped up in being the best that the idea of anything less felt unbearable. People assumed his success came easily. Teachers praised him, classmates admired him, and his parents were proud. But inside, James felt trapped. "Do they think it's easy for me to get 100% on a test?" he once confided. "There's no chance to enjoy it. The moment I do well, the pressure to do it again is even worse." His parents, now worried about his health, realized they had unknowingly contributed to this mindset. They had always encouraged him to excel, never imagining he would take it to such an extreme. And yet, how often do parents do the same? How many children define their worth by their grades, their university acceptance, or their achievements, only to fall apart when things don't go as planned? This relentless pursuit of being ahead of the curve comes at a cost. Children learn to measure themselves by external markers rather than embracing who they truly are. When self-worth is tied to achievements, any failure, no matter how small, feels like losing everything. And this brings up a common phrase parents use, often without realizing its weight: reaching your potential. It sounds encouraging, doesn't it? But think about what it really implies. Telling a child they are not reaching their potential suggests they are not good enough as they are. It subtly communicates that their present self is lacking, that they should always be striving for some future version of themselves that is better. Now, picture this. A parent spends hours preparing a meal for family and friends. Everyone enjoys it, except for one guest who, instead of appreciating the effort, says, "Well, I can see you tried, but you didn't live up to your potential." How would that feel? Would it inspire them to cook again, or would it feel disheartening, like their best effort wasn't enough? This is what happens when children constantly hear that they could be so much more. Instead of feeling seen and valued for who they are, they learn to believe that their worth lies somewhere in the future, never in the present. So, what's the alternative? How can parents encourage growth and learning without making their child feel like they are in a never-ending race. It starts with shifting the focus from performance to presence. Instead of constantly looking at what they should achieve next, celebrate who they are right now. Notice their curiosity, their kindness, their unique way of seeing the world. Encourage exploration without expectation. If they show interest in something new, whether it's music, painting, or coding, let them explore it without pressure. The goal isn't to be the best, but to experience joy in learning. If they struggle with school, remind them that learning is about growth, not perfection. A mistake on a test isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of learning in progress. And most importantly, parents should reflect on their own expectations. Are they unknowingly placing pressure on their child to be ahead? Are they equating their child's success with their own success? If so, it's important to take a step back. A child doesn't need to be a prodigy to be valuable. They don't need to be the best to be worthy of love and appreciation. Every child is already whole, just as they are. The more they feel accepted and celebrated in the present, the more they will naturally grow into their fullest selves, without the crushing weight of constantly needing to be ahead of the curve. So today, take a moment to see your child for who they are, not who they could be, not who they should be, but exactly as they are right now. Because that version of them, it's already enough. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's spread the word and support more parents on this journey. By the way, if you ever feel like you need a bit of guidance on your parenting journey, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm a parenting and life coach. You can find me at littleoneslifecoach.com. Thank you.